Hello, everybody, and welcome to the stream again. It's nice to be here. The market has for sure made some great moves yesterday, and I already had a peek a little bit before the stream opened. And damn, the overnight market has been volatile as always. We also have we also have jolts today. Wait a little bit. I will fast go and get my 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 glass of water. I'm drinking some iced tea here as well, but I'll fast go and get some glass of water so I can have both. Be right back. Cheers. Okay, let's start with our beloved pre-market preparation as always. We also have a interesting event today on the stream. I'm trying something new, and I think this is an amazing opportunity. So today you have the whole session time to answer the question: what is the difference between a winning trader and a losing trader? And yeah, after this session, I'm gonna choose the best comment in chat, the one answer that I think is the best, and that person is gonna get a 2 week mentorship for free. That usually is $250 on my coaching website. I do also offer 1 hour of free coaching on my website, so check that out if there's something you want to learn, or you want to get started in trading. That's a great place to do that. But today, yeah, special offer: the one who answers my questions the best will get a free 2 week mentorship from me specially. But let's get into the pre-market preparation before the market opens. Before the market opens, I have to open my Epic Pen here. I got a little bit busy with getting my charts on today, unfortunately. But let's get our tool ready. Tool is here. You should soon be able to see me drawing. So let's look at ES first, and let's look at the structure. So we had a quite volatile session yesterday, in my opinion. It looked like it was going to be a trend day down already on that specific session. But lo and behold, we ended up closing in value. Very interesting. We had a very balanced day yesterday, but now the overnight market has just flushed down like a toilet. Um, these days, for me specifically, are days where I do not trade. But I will be looking at the market and I will be analyzing it, but I probably won't take any trades today. Or I won't take any trades today. That's for sure in ES. I might still look at the other market and see if we have any setups brewing, but this gap is huge. What I do like usually to do on these type of days on my live account, we do sometimes see these huge gap days and they like to revert back a little bit. You know, when there's a huge FOMO move in the market likes to move a little bit back to the value and then either continue or totally reverse. And this is what I see. But right now, we have a very bearish move. I think we had a bearish move in other markets as well. I think Bitcoin is almost at like 100K again. And we're having like a flush down in pretty much every markets overnight, which is obviously a little bit of a shame because we didn't get on this specific get on this specific move because it happened overnight. But yeah, if I'm expecting something, I would expect us to move at least a little bit back and create some balance in these areas. Of course, we do have jolts news today, so that could really change everything up. I'm not sure how it affects when we have the government shutdown. I'm not sure if the news reaction is going to be a little bit different. Time will tell. But we do have that. That is my first option. The second one is just, you know, we do an open auction. We test the open of the session, and we pretty much gonna balance it out there. And then once jolts comes, I think it could be possible to drive us even further down. But yeah, that's kind of my two takes on ES. These are the types of days where I really don't have any clue what's going to happen because the gap is so big. Usually the market likes to come back a little bit and then continue downwards the next day. But yeah, my expectation is balance. But right now, huge gap down, anything is possible. And this is a market where I don't trade. In these type of situations, I'm usually on the sidelines and just looking. But we're gonna still review the other market. But that's for ES. Let's look at YM. YM pretty much the same story as ES, but not quite as bad as what ES is looking like. We have a little bit over 0.5% gap here on YM. And I think the same story here. A move up and then find some balance again in these areas. I don't think we're gonna have any huge moves usually after such a big overnight move. Very possible that we just balance it out. The only chance for a huge move, I think, is jolts, or if we keep panic selling. But I'm not very sure what's gonna happen. Let's jump to RTY. And every market is pretty much the same story today. There's a gap down, and RTY is the yesterday's session was very interesting in RTY. You can see how it's a balanced session. What we had a very bullish close. The other markets had a balanced close, but we really had a bullish close in RTY, whereas the other markets really did not. We did reject lower prices, and suddenly we're just gapping down, overnight. So it's a very hard, hard thing to analyze when yesterday was saying another story and today is saying another story. I do think it's very possible that we maybe even test the yesterday's value, and this is where some kind of value will happen. If I would guess, I think this is a target long term. We do have a poor high here in a overnight session. I'm not sure if we can do it today. I mean, the range is very huge, but this is a possibility at some point. I'm not sure if this move is going to happen today, but I do look at this level and see, this poor high wants to get ran. So it could very well be just a fake out to the downside and then move up. But it could very well as well just, continue downwards and pretty much do nothing. Both possibilities are out there. Okay. That's for ESYM NQ. If you have anyone right now in chat and who trades NQ, if you want me to look at NQ, I can. I don't trade NQ myself, but usually I have people on the stream who ask me, "Hey, can you analyze NQ?" Well, if there's someone who wants me to analyze NQ or whatever else other market, I can do that. But otherwise, we will be moving forward. And yeah, we have a special stream today. So we have actually a giveaway, but you have to earn the giveaway, right? So I have a question for everyone, and we're gonna see the best answer after today's stream. Or, well, in the end of today's stream, not after my stream, right? So the question is, what is the difference between a winning trader and a losing trader? Type your answer in chat at any point in the stream, and the best answer will win a 2-week mentorship, which is worth around $250 with me. The 2-week mentorship is very different from anything else. It's gonna be a lot of exercises and habit building. very different from anything else. It's not gonna be, a free golden nugget strategy or anything like this. Just creating basic trading habits that you need and a structure where you can start building from. It's not gonna solve all your problems, but it's gonna help you become a professional trader and do this full time, because that's what everyone wants. At least I hope, if you're not a gambler behind the screen. But yeah, that's pretty much for the markets. We do have 6 minutes left. Remember, jolts. I'm not sure how the US government shutdown is going to affect it, but we do have jolts opening in 35 minutes. So 30 minutes after the open, we are going to get some action, right? So looking like a great day for action. We have a huge overnight range, so expect some volatility. As I already said, we did not have a plan for any setup today because the market is just gapping so much. I'm a mean reversion trader. I usually like to fade value, right? But today's gap is so big that I don't like to fight the trend, even if I think it's very possible that we start moving to the upside. And at least in RTY, we have that one poor high, which is kind of an obvious target at some point, but it's quite far away still. We're talking about this target here. So I'm expecting this level to get taken out at some point in the week or the upcoming weeks. But yeah, for today, not sure if we can make that big of a move. We do have a lot of volatility, so I'm not closing it out, and I have to look at RTY very specifically. But yeah, the other markets do not have the same type of obvious magnets that the market wants to go to. So we have to be a little bit more chill about it. So, how are you doing, guys? Do we have any setups for the viewers today? Are you looking for a specific setups? What type of trader are you? Do you like scalping? Do you like more of a swing trade style? Do you trade structure, order flow, fair value gaps? I hear that a lot nowadays. Yeah, what's your trading style? Let me know in the chat. I always like to talk with traders, and if you have a cool trade to show me, just tell me, and you might even be able to join the stream with me and have a talk and show off your cool trade. So that's that. Now we're just waiting for the market to open. And yeah, answer the question below, and you'll have a chance to win a 2-week mentorship today. The winner will be announced at the end of the session. At the end of the trading session. I'm not going to trade the whole session, obviously, so we're not, going to be here for the whole day. But in the next few hours, depending on how long I'm going to be streaming today and how much action there is in the market to review. Delicious. This might look like cognac or some type of alcohol, but this is actually iced tea. It's actually iced tea. So I'm not an alcoholic. I know my glasses look like they could be like a glass for alcohol or whatever you like to call it. You shouldn't drink when you trade. That's for sure. 2 minutes. 2 minutes and we have the market open. And just let me know what is the difference between a winning and a losing trader, and leave the answer in the chat. In the chat. I am streaming also on Kick and YouTube, so I'm doing both. I'm multi-streaming, so it doesn't matter on which platform you are. Just let me know in the chat, and I'll get back to you. But I expect that most of my viewers are on YouTube usually. One minute left and we will get some action. Remember, also 30 minutes. 30 minutes and then we will have jolts opening, and I think that will really open today's session. We'll really get some type of move, I believe. But here we go. A very big gap in RTY, that's for sure. YM is pretty much the best and the strongest of these markets. It's holding up quite well potentially, and we're not that far away on YM from the previous close of yesterday, but pretty much from the beginning of the overnight session we had a dump down. Here we go. ES opening downwards in the open, but I wouldn't bet on a move yet. When you're trading, it's very important to be patient and wait for a setup, wait for confirmation. When when there is an overnight move like this, and if you're not like a trader that trades huge specific gaps overnight, then I do not think you should engage on such day before you get like structure and confirmation, because I think anything could happen here. We could move back to value, we could continue a huge downtrend, like everything's open on a session like this, but it looks like it's kind of doing this classic open down, get the bears, FOMO in, and then have a move upwards. And that was kind of what I was also drawing. Um, I expected some type of move upwards, and then it would be decided if we continue the downwards move or not. Let's see if that's the case here. For sure, looked like it kind of ran. We had like a 490 negative delta on this specific rotation, and it just didn't move anywhere. So buyers for sure catch that move. And yeah, that would have been a great scalp setup if you're a scalper and you like order flow. If anyone has any questions in chat, let me know. And remember to answer the question that I have on screen somewhere below, right? The best answer will win a 2-week mentorship with me. And we will connect after this session to set it up. And look at that. Now we have a down move. We got some negative delta again. Clearly looking like a choppy open, just based on what's going on. We have sellers, we have buyers, sellers, buyers. So yeah, it's usually also a sign of that people are confused, not necessarily really sure about where the market is going. But now we had a little bit bigger offer on the ask side, 287 lots to the downside. Let's see if that moves the market. I'll look at the other markets. RTY had a much more aggressive move to the downside. YM is the most clean out of all the markets in the open. Just straight down. Straight down. And remember, we have news in 30 minutes or 27 minutes. The Jolts number is gonna be very interesting. Very interesting. All right, we have. Looks like the sellers are in control for now. We ran this micro low here. Now the question is, did we just run the stops and turn? I feel like the overnight low is gonna be a level that is kind of a magnet because statistically speaking, it's like a 1% chance that the overnight low or high doesn't get hit in a trading session. And statistics speaking, that's very rare, right? So, one or two out of 100 sessions, that doesn't happen. So, very likely that the overnight stat gets taken out, and then we have some type of reaction to the upside, or then we just continue moving to the downside. But yeah, right now we just had some type of stop run, I think, of this specific micro level. But it completely depends on the price action here. Look at this delta. We ran the stops and now we're kind of moving back to the RTH VWAP. Pretty significant green delta here, but nothing happens. And yeah, remember to answer the question below. The best answer in the end of the session will get a free 2-week mentorship with me, which is valued at $250 normally. And you get to work one-on-one with me, and we will build a structure where you will be not a profitable trader, but a professional trader, right? And then you have a structure that you can build upon to become a profitable trader. Being a profitable trader is super hard, and it will take probably years, just to be honest. It takes a lot of hard work, and it's not a free, easy way to becoming rich, right? And I'm not a millionaire. I'm going to be very honest about it. I make a living out of trading, but I'm not nearly close to being a millionaire. So you have to be very patient, and you can't rush the process. Just do small improvements every day. It's the same as compounding, but compound yourself, Get better 1% every day, and in a year or 2 years, you'll be at a great spot. But you need a proper structure, but usually a lot of people who come to me have ignored the structure. Usually teaching new traders is more easy than people who have already been in the markets for many, many years. And the issue is because someone who has traded with bad habits for, let's say, 3 years, these habits are so ingrained into his personality as a trader already, it's very hard to change things. But if you're a new trader, it's still very easy to get that structure in and then build up your habits. And that's where the first big step is. You have to have a foundation when you start building your house. The same is for trading. You have to have a proper foundation, and once you have that foundation, you can slowly start building the house step by step. And yeah, it always comes down to compounding. Compound yourself, compound the market. All right, looks like we rejected from VWAP and the EMA, and we have a big seller stuck here at the lows. Will be very interesting to see if this seller is actually stuck or not. If you make a higher high here, it's quite probable, in my opinion, that we will look for higher prices. But obviously, that's not sure yet. We'll see if the seller is actually stuck or not here. Let's look at the PNF chart here with our volume imprint. Yeah, very negative delta. Like you can see, delta is very red, but we had some strong buying here at RTH VWAP. So I don't see any setup here specifically. There's nothing to do, but I do think there's a higher probability of moving upwards than downwards. It looks like this big order just got stuck here down this low, and you can see this was a obvious stop run level as well on like a smaller time frame. I'm looking at the 1 minute chart. So, I think continuation to the upside is possible. But then again, we do have the overnight low here as a magnet. So not something I would specifically trade myself. Trade myself, just talking about what I'm seeing in the market. I only trade one strategy and it's based on gaps. And the gap today is very wide. And I don't trade wide gap days. I like to trade balanced environments where we are not necessarily looking for value, we're staying inside of value. But in the overnight session, we pushed outside of value. As you can see here in the TPO, the white profile here is the overnight session, and you can see we opened here and we just flushed down in pretty much every market. It doesn't matter what market you're looking for, we just flushed down. So, big gap in the market, not gonna trade that. If you're watching the stream right now, you can probably see a question in the bottom of your screen. And the question is, what is the difference between a winning trader and a losing trader? The best answer will win a 2-week mentorship with me, and you can claim that after this streaming session is over. But yeah, I'll let you know before the stream ends who had the best answer. Let me know in chat. Yeah, looking like the buyers are in control, like I said. But right now, this is not a very clean low either, or like a micro low. And we do have the overnight low as well here. So it could just be like a push, down, continuation, overnight low, back to value. But we'll see. We do have a lot of stops probably here at this specific level as well. Well, no setup to take here. It's just random noise. I'm just trying to analyze the market and talk about what I'm seeing here, but there's no trade present right now in any market. RTY is for sure, I think, the most bullish if you just look at the market structure. The most bearish long term, but we do have some magnets above for RTY, and I think that poor overnight low from a few days ago, I think it was last week actually, is a magnet for the market. Well, any questions, let me know in the chat. If you had a good trade today, let me know. You can even show your trades live on stream. I have a way of getting you on stream. If you want to be on a camera as well, that's possible. And we'll set that up for you and you can show your best trades. Because again, I usually get 1 to 3 trades a week. I'm a very greedy trader when it comes to my setup, and I know exactly what I want. So if I don't get that, I don't trade. So most of the time, you'll just have me talking here. I'm trying to help everyone who's listening. I have coached many multiple traders, around the world really, and you have a great opportunity to learn something. Or I could even learn from you. Who knows? But yeah, on stream, I'm trading a Apex funded account. This is a PA account. I believe we are right now up 2.3K, 2.2K. We have traded this account for 16 days, maybe 17 days, something like that. A little bit over 2 weeks. We are on a small losing streak, actually, on a daily. I think our last 2 sessions were in the red, but that's totally normal. But yeah, today we're not gonna have a setup. I already know that for a fact. You can always, you have a choice when you're a trader, and as a streamer, you have to be entertaining. I understand streaming is a form of entertainment. So it's a very hard thing to me to do as a trader who doesn't really get a lot of trades, right? How am I entertaining at the same time as I'm not taking trades, you know? And this is a huge difference, I think, compared to other streamers, because a lot of these streamers are entertainers. They are not traders, they're entertainers. Um, but I'm not here to entertain. I'm actually showing how professional trading should look like. It's not chasing a lot of trades. You know, a lot of the best traders I know only take few setups a week, even if they are day traders. Believe it or not, usually less is better when it comes to trading. I know some people could be scalpers, they could have success, but from my experience, the the less you trade and the more greedy you are with your setups, the better trader you usually are, because it's a very important quality in a trader. And you must have structure in your trading where you know exactly when you're going to take a trade. It shouldn't be, should I take a trade here or should I not take a trade here? No, you should exactly know what you're looking for. Right? You could even use that in your answer here if you want to answer the question right below. Difference between a winning and a losing trader. And yeah, the best answer wins a 2-week trading mentorship for free. Good stuff. 15 minutes to the news announcement. We made a higher high there, ran the low. Had a stop run. Big seller got caught and we had a leg up. And right now we are trying to pull through the ETH VWAP. But I do expect maybe a balance session today. I'm not necessarily seeing a trend session. Usually after huge moves, you get a calmer session. But who knows? We have jolts in under 15 minutes, so that could really open the price action. And we also have our overnight low untaken here. We haven't touched the overnight level yet. And it's like a 1 or 2 sessions out of 100 where you touch either the overnight low or the overnight high. You know that statistics. So statistically speaking, it's quite probable that either of these levels will get touched. Well, if we look at the market structure on ES, we're looking at a almost 70-point move to take out the overnight high. So just having that probability in mind, I think the overnight low is much more probable. It doesn't mean that the overnight low is going to get taken out this session. No. This could be very well, a session 2 out of 100 or 1 out of 100, because technically it's still there. But statistically speaking, I think there's a good chance for the overnight low to get taken. So I wouldn't either go for long trades here. You're fighting against the trend if you're going long, and then you're fighting against the stats if you're going short. I mean the other way around. So, yep. No trades to take there. RTY is looking much stronger. It would be a crazy move if RTY can take out this overnight poor high, which was left November the 3rd. So, oh yeah, that was yesterday's night session. It was So it was the overnight weekend session. Damn, a poor high will act as a magnet 100%. Would be a crazy move if we took that. Who? A big seller here at VWAP. 1K lot coming in. Very interesting. Let's see if this 1K order gets stuck here at this specific level or not. We still have 0 replies or answers in our chat for today's question. So it could even be that you alone could be the only answer, and that would mean that you would automatically win. Crazy to think about. There's a huge risk to reward ratio right there. There's no risk and $250 worth of reward. Amazing. So answer the question below, difference between winning and a losing trader, and the best answer wins a 2-week mentorship worth of $250. Let's see if this 1K lot gets stuck here. A huge seller here at VWAP specifically, but the market did not react in any way or form yet to the downside, even if we had that huge seller right there. So we'll see what happens. Maybe this huge seller is playing to capture the overnight statistic. Who knows? So maybe this is the move, because this statistic is still here. Technically, we could take the overnight high, but that's 70 to 80 points away. Quite low statistical edge there, in my opinion. At least if you take into account this volatility right now, we have a range of just shy 30 points. Let's look at the PNF chart volume imprint here. A lot of buying delta right here, but price did not go anywhere. Let's see if the buyers can push right now. Look at the delta. It's trying to push. It's jumping between 100 and under 50. And right now it looks like the buyers... you can see it's selling coming in right now. I think this is a very important... If it can hold here, I think buyers have a really good spot. Yeah, now it's looking like the buyers are really, really trying to push it here and be in control. So it looks like the sellers lost that specific level, and this huge selling order got a little bit caught there. Not a good day for sellers. Look at this seller here. We had almost a 300 lot getting stuck here at the lows on the stop run. Was playing for the breakout or something. And then we have a huge 1K lot here going short at the VWAP. And the buyers just snap up that order and move higher. So yeah, looks like the scenario 1 is playing out here, where we pull back and then later on in the session have a small move into value. Small move into value. I can hear a Discord message right now. So gotta reply to that one. I'll put it on this screen. Sometimes it's very hard to manage your monitors when you're streaming. I have so many markets on the on my monitors, and then I should still have my stream, my streaming program, everything set up, chat. So it's very hard to get everything. I have 5 monitors. Imagine 5 monitors, and I still have struggles to fill to not fill every monitor, right? So I would need one more for streaming, which is a little bit inconvenient, but that's how it goes. But yeah, buyers taking control, just like our pre-market prep said here, moving to the upside. Even if we had a huge gap down, people were FOMO'd in. People thought, okay, the market is gonna crash, and then lo and behold, we have 2 big sellers getting caught. We have this seller trying to push the breakout from the open, and 270 lots just stopped like a wall, move above. We made a higher high on a very small, specific time frame, and then another seller got stuck at ETH VWAP. So not a good day for sellers. Another seller here, and now a buyer as well. So we're seeing a little bit of more big buy orders in the market as well. Riku 8688. Big stonks today. No stonks today. No stonks today. The market is in a position, Riku, where I have no trade to take. So there's something called a gap. And this is where, well, you can see the line very well, but this line here is where yesterday's market closed. So this is the close price yesterday. And then overnight, we moved down and we opened. Where did we open? Somewhere here. So there's a huge gap, We sold off overnight. And when the gap is so big, there's no trade for me to take because I'm not going to fight against huge selling. Right now, the market is moving upwards, which obviously looks like a bad thing for me. Maybe I could have made money today, but that's not how a professional trader operates. You have to be okay with your rules and you have to know the days where the probability is not on your side. So I'm not going to fight the trend. Obviously, anything could happen here. We have news in 5 minutes. But yeah, we had a pre-market plan, and the pre-market plan was to move up and then pull back to value and just shop around these areas for the rest of the session. But yeah, right now a lot of buyers catching these FOMO sellers overnight and in the open of the session. But no stonks, no trades. There's not going to be a trade for me today. And today we have a great chance for anyone, even Riku here. So there's the question. What is the difference between a winning and a losing trader? The answer could be anything. Just give it your best shot, and the best answer wins a 2-week trading mentorship with me, worth $250. But yeah, looking at the market today, this is what we call a TPO, so we can kind of see what happened on the previous days. And you can see the white profile. I'll draw it here. This white profile shows the action of the overnight session. So we opened here when the night session started, and we closed here. So the market moved a lot down in the night session, and right now we're making a move up, and I think we're probably gonna see something like this, possibly. But there's not a trade for me specifically today, and I already knew that going into today's stream. But that's how good trading should be. A year or two ago, I took much more trades. But right now, I'm taking only 1 to 3 trades a week, and I'm so much more profitable. So less is more. Less is more. You have to be patient and not chase dopamine. A lot of traders on YouTube, they chase dopamine. They try to be entertaining, but I'm not gonna be entertaining in a trade war. I'm not gonna entertain you with my trades because I'm only getting 1 to 3 trades a week. I'm trying to set an example for you guys watching the stream. This is how a professional full-time trader should trade. And if you're interested, you could reply to my question and get that mentorship, and I could build your structure as a trader the same way I've built mine. 2 minutes and we have a news announcement. The market is going to have some type of reaction there, I would believe. Here we go. 2 minutes. Ran out of iced tea as well. Good that I took some water. I was prepared. Quality over quantity, says Riku. Indeed. That's the big truth. Quality over quantity. And it's not only about trading, pretty much anything in life, You don't get happiness of chasing a lot of, women who are, let's say, 4 or 5s, You want to get that quality wife, The same thing applies to trading. You want to get those high quality trades because these trades will pay you. Every, shit trade you take is gonna keep you from getting to the next level. But trading is very close to gambling, and it's very easy to be a gambler as a trader. You're chasing dopamine and you're doing it for the excitement. But you made it as a trader once you're in a position where you're looking at the market and you're bored out of your mind and there's nothing to do. Riku liked my answer here. Yeah, I hope I didn't get cancelled for that. I was just speaking the truth here. If someone watches Two and a Half Men, be Alan Harper, don't be Charlie Sheen. Even if Charlie Sheen, I'm not gonna spoil. I'm not gonna spoil anything. If there's someone who wants to watch the series, watch it yourself and you'll see what happens. All right, the news announcement should be here, but is there no reaction to the market? Mm, there is the government shutdown, so it could be that the number is not gonna come out at all. I think that's probably the case, yeah. It's very interesting because we had the PMI numbers yesterday, but no jolts today. Yeah, no jolts today, so unlucky. Let's look at YM. YM already broke this high, and we could have a huge, humongous gap close today. RTY looking like it wants to turn. Let's look at the volume imprint here. A lot of buying at these highs. Let's see if sellers can actually push it away. Again, this is just analyzing. I'm not trading this. What a weird price action. Look at this. It's like a perfect, I'm not sure what you call that shape. It's a perfect shape. I don't know what the shape is called. Unlucky. But yeah, looks like the sellers are pushing it in RTY. We might have some type of pullback. If I was to see a pullback here in RTY, I would probably look to long in these areas if I was discretionary trading and I would not follow my plan at all. But that's not what we are about here on this stream. Again, a big seller. What is this big seller doing? We had a 1K selling at VWAP, and now we have a big seller again. Let's see if the big seller gets what he or she wants. Or it, because we are living in 2025, right? So you never know. It could be an it. I hope I don't get cancelled today. It's Riku's fault. He was pushing me. Oh, I'm so sweaty today. The first thing I'm gonna do after I'm done with the session is to take a shower. I have to go and adjust the thermostat after a stream for sure. Let's look at the selling here. Negative 710 delta into 400 delta. A lot of fighting going on in this specific level. So this is for sure a level where we could get the next move. Either we reject or we continue. But there's a battle between buyers and sellers. You can see the same thing happened here, and then we had a move to the upside. Here, a fight, move to the upside, the buyers won, and now people are again seeing, okay, are we agreeing over price? We have people who think we are overpriced right now and trying to sell, and then the other side is trying to push prices even higher because they think that the market is underpriced. So that makes a battle, and that's usually where value is created, when people are agreeing over price. You start seeing both sides buying and the other side selling, right? So you have buyers and sellers, we create value, and the price moves back and forth inside of a range. But once people agree over value, you get a move. So here, a lot of people thought that, hey, the market is too low, and they wanted to buy. But then we had the other people here who want to buy because they thought that the market was, no, wait, the market was too low, so they wanted to buy. And here people thought the market was too high, so they wanted to sell. I should write sell here instead. I messed it up a little bit. And yeah, they were fighting each other. They had a battle. It's like a war. You had I'm not sure, you had the Germans against the Alliance. They were fighting. They had a little of a skirmish there. And then the German army, in this case, maybe lost. And then you had a huge move of soldiers who still had some fight in them, who pushed to the next city. They conquered a city, and now they're looking for more territory. And now we're seeing here if they can win the next battle and take it to the next territory. If you put it to war terms, you could explain it in a way like that. All right. We're looking at an uptrend, and we still have no answers. Well, Riku kind of had an answer to the question: difference between a winning trader and a losing trader. Riku gave the answer: quality over quantity. Quality over quantity. I think that answer is really good. Really good, honestly. Great job, Riku. You are in the lead for a 2-week mentorship here on the channel. But if someone else has a better answer, type in chat and let's see if your answer beats Riku's and you can win the 2-week mentorship. But otherwise, Riku is on the hashtag number 1 spot here. Riku8688. Leading race. I think if you're gonna fall down, it's gonna be right now. I think this is a level where I would maybe look for a short trade. If I didn't follow my plan. Obviously, I'm gonna follow my plan and not take a trade here. But around these areas, I think the probability of a down move is bigger. But I wouldn't fight the trend before we had a proper reaction. I would want to see the price to go at least somewhere here before I would be short. Never fight the trend. Never fight the trend. Wait for a move. Not a huge move, but wait for a little bit of momentum in your trade direction that you're planning. Don't blindly enter into momentum, right? If the market wants to do a U-turn, wait it to slow down a little bit. And, once it makes the turn, then bet on it, right? Still slowly trending upwards. But we had a huge buying delta here and nothing happened. So if we can see some sellers push down the market right now, I think in these specific areas we could have some type of a turn. But I would never bet against the trend before we get some type of momentum shift to the downside. So if price comes somewhere here in these areas, I would technically, as a fully discretionary trader, take a short trade. Oh, look at that. We have a pretty big seller here at the highs. And it's like I mistakenly predicted something, but it's not necessarily a move downwards just because you see a big seller, but that for sure helps. It's going to be interesting to see here if the seller gets caught for the 3rd time in a row. I think this time it might be different and we could see a move back to where we came from. but we'll have to see if the seller is getting the third times the charm or not. Huge negative delta there. I'm still seeing sellers coming in, so it would look great for a short trade here. Personally. But we're not going to trade against our plan here. We're just going to wait and see what happens. But if I was to make a guess, as someone who has looked at charts for a very, very long time, for thousands, if not 10,000 hours, I would predict a move to the downside here. Maybe there was a bigger player setting up a position here as well. You can see 1K, 1K, and now properly over 1K sell orders coming in. So over 3K lots. Someone has a lot of money who's trading short here. If we, of course, think it's the same person, but I think there's a good chance it is. Not many traders have, or, well, obviously bigger players have the money to put on these type of situations or positions. I do not. 3 big sell orders, but the market is still trying to find its way to higher prices. But if I was to predict, here would be the turn. Third time's charm usually seems to work in the markets. I don't know why. The rule of the threes. But I'm not taking this trade, obviously, because it's outside of my rules and outside of my system. But if I was fully discretionary trader, this is where I would start looking for a short trade. And you could get some great risk reward as well. And yeah, if you just joined the stream or you're new to the stream, welcome. Great to have you here. We have a question today and we have a giveaway. So, if you answer the question in chat, what is the difference between a winning trader and a losing trader? The best answer in chat will win a 2-week mentorship with me. We already had a great answer from Riku8688, quality over quantity. So Riku is up for a challenge here, and it's looking like Riku might get the throne. But there's a big but. You still have some time here on the stream to write down your answer, and then at the end of my stream, I will choose the winner. It'll be very interesting to see if we can get the downwards turn here that I kind of was looking for. Let's look at the other markets. How are they doing? YM. YM is gonna go for the close. What a crazy move this is from YM. Yeah, if you catch this long, you're making a lot of money. Unfortunately, I have no way of catching this one. RTY, a big seller getting caught here as well. You can see 417 lots trying to short, and the market moves to the opposite direction. These big orders are really getting hammered today. They're very interesting. Oh, we made a higher high in ES. Made a higher high in ES. Let's look at the chart here. Positive delta across the board. Also, if you're not subscribed yet, give me a subscribe. I stream here every day. At least that's the plan. And obviously, I'm trying to make this stream a little bit different. So it's not gonna be all only about trading. I'm gonna take my own clients here, have some coaching calls, so people can learn from my own clients. I would really want to bring some guests, and I think I have some opportunities lying behind the scenes right now. So maybe we could get some amazing opportunities for the stream in the future as well. Some different type of content from what everybody else is doing, but still unsure about that. It's going to take some time to figure these things out. So for now, we're still looking at my trading, and most of the time I won't get any trades in a trading day. On average, I get like 2 trades a week. So gonna be me just looking at the market and trying to somehow predict what the market is gonna do. But again, predicting, you should never trade based on what I say on stream. Never. Because you're gonna lose money. That's just how it goes. And here showing some signs of why you do not fight a trend. Still holding at these highs. Big seller getting caught. And buyers catching the move. I still think there's a good probability of a turn here. But that's just the mean reversion trader in me. I'm not a trend trader. I'm good at spotting opportunities where the market could turn to the other side. And that's why I don't like trading trend days, because trend days you have almost never an opportunity to go short or, fade the market. Usually it's a recipe for disaster, and that's why if you see something like a trend day and you're a mean reversion trader, do not trade the market then. It's very simple. Do not trade. Just wait for another day where you will make money. Monday, for example, was a great day to make money statistically. Obviously, that didn't happen yesterday. We all know that, who were watching the stream. I took one losing trade yesterday. But yeah, yesterday, statistically speaking, it was a great day to trade. And even when you have the statistics on your side, the markets are very random and anything could happen. So never ever bet too much on one specific trade or on a one specific trade. You have to act like a casino. The casinos know that they will end up, for example, in blackjack, they have a 2% edge. So they know that they will win 2% of the hands or the 2% of the money that's put in on the table, right? They know. That doesn't mean that, they could have a negative win rate on 10 hands easily, right? Statistically speaking, that's very possible. But on 1,000 hands, pretty much every time they are going to end up winning a money. So, but they want to limit their downside, and that's why they have bet limits. They don't let anyone just come in with, $10 million and play blackjack. No, they have limits because they know that on one specific hand, they could lose huge amounts of money because statistically speaking, it's very close to a 50-50. But in the long run, if you get people playing the game with a 2% edge in their favor, they're going to make money. The same exact logic works in trading. But instead of the market being the casino, you have to become the casino and you have to know, okay, I have a statistical edge of this and this. I know I'm going to make about this much money on every trade I take. That doesn't mean that you're going to win every trade you take, but you know that every time the specific setup happens, you're going to end up making money long term. Exactly, long term. A trader shouldn't be focused on a weekly, weekly statistic, not even monthly statistics. You should be looking at like 6 months, a year. If you're profitable for a year with many trades, then you have edge and you're a profitable trader. If you're only profitable for a week, that doesn't mean that you even did anything good. You know, I'm already giving you some hints. What's the difference between a winning and a losing trader? A winning trader, right, knows that it's not about it's not always that a win is a good thing and a loss is a bad thing, right? Whereas a losing trader is usually someone who believes that every losing trade is bad and every winning trade is good. That's not true at all. Yep, and that's pretty much how trading works. Become a casino, win money, long term. Not short term, long term. So when you see someone on YouTube and they are boasting about, I made $10,000 today, that's one day. You should ask them, how much did you make in a year or in the last 6 months, 3 months, 2 months, even a month. But having a one big day, at least on a sim account or a prop firm, is no proof of concept, and everyone has to understand that. I actually think that people think that the founding father of trading, Jesse Livermore, for example, he is known for huge trades, and he probably made, percentually, probably the most profits out of any trader alive. But he was a very bad trader, in a way, because he blew up and he died completely poor. He had these huge winning streaks because he was betting recklessly, and then he blew up because he didn't have his mentality in place. He had the right mindset where he knew the rules and what he should do, but always in the end he ended up doing the wrong thing and blowing up his account. So you can be super successful in a short period of time, or even years, and then you just have a crash because you don't have proper risk management. You get cocky and you think you're better than the market, and you overbet on one specific play, and then that's what happens. And I believe that happened to him like 2 or 3 times, where he made huge amount and then he lost it all. Very sad. But right now it looks like Mr. Riku8688 is gonna claim a prize. Do we not have anyone in chat? I pretty much gave you great answers right now. I gave a part of my own answer. The answer is much wider than what I just said. But you have an opportunity to give me an answer on the question and hopefully win a 2-week mentorship. Right now, Riku8688 has the best answer. It's also the only answer, but you have a chance to win that mentorship just by answering the question. There's many answers to this question, many right answers, but the best answer is going to be the one who's going to be on top. Riku8688 said quality over quantity. Not a bad answer at all. And that's what I'm doing here. I'm not taking any trades today. I'm just waiting for the quality setup, as always. So very smart answer from Riku8688. Not a bad one at all. Yeah, we just have another huge move to the upside. Yesterday we had kind of the same thing but to the other side. And then we moved back, and then the overnight session just flipped the switch and we had a huge move to the downside. Let's look at YM. Did YM actually close the gap? YM is so close to closing the gap today. Sometimes these days can really be crazy where you have a huge gap. There's some edge there for sure. These sellers really got stuck today, right? We see a big seller getting stuck what, 4 times. Look, big seller here in the stop run trying to go for a breakout. Then we have a big seller here at VWAP, got stuck again. Big seller here, and the price just keeps moving upwards. You know, obviously this could be institutional money and someone's just setting up a long-term play. It very well could be. I have no clue. But it looks like these sellers are really getting it today. We had a move to the downside, a classic V-shape reversal, and now we're looking at a trendy day. All right, I think we are gonna give this stream 15 minutes more because I'm not gonna get a setup here. 15 minutes time to give me the reply. Otherwise, Riku8688 has won. Reply to the question down below, and you'll have a chance. I'm sorry, you'll have a chance of winning a 2-week mentorship. What is the difference between a winning trader versus a losing trader? What's the difference? Give me a reply in chat. It doesn't matter if you're on YouTube or Kick. Both work fine. Let me know. And the winner wins a 2-week mentorship. But right now, 15 minutes time, and it's looking like Riku8688 is gonna be the champion of today. We are the champions. We are champions. What a classic trend day. But yeah, I'm still giving you 15 minutes time to give a reply. We are, well, it's not quite 15 minutes anymore. Once that time hits, let's say 1740, that's when the best answer will be crowned as the winner. But right now it's looking like Mr. Riku8688 is gonna take the cake here. You can see here he answered. That's not his answer. Here we have it. Look at it. Quality over quantity. Quality over quantity answers Riku8688. There we go. The best answer today, quality over quantity. You still have a chance for a little while. For a little while. let's get the question back on stream. Question: what is the difference between a winning and a losing trader? Best answer wins a 2 week mentorship. Right now, the best answer is from Riku, who said quality over quantity. What a great answer. Good one. Let's see if we have someone else who can come up and challenge Riku here on our stream. Still a little bit left before we possibly get a winner. What calming music on a trend day? If you're long from the lows of today, this music is gonna be perfect for you. You're just gonna listen to this song and you're just gonna go into Zen mode, just meditate and enjoy the ride because you're probably making a lot of money today. Or then you're someone like me who didn't get the move and is now just bringing up his zen mood to keep himself out of the market because a good profitable trader knows when to not do anything. That's one of the redeeming qualities of a winning trader. Fix my mic stand a little bit. I think this is probably better. Just trying out some new settings. Let's look at ES here. We had some big buying delta going on. You know, you could bet on the downfall all you want, but we really had a big move to the upside here. We had a big move to the upside here. I do still think that it's more or less likely that we do not close the gap here today. But we'll see, we'll see. YEM is very close to the gap close here. Nothing to do, nothing to do. The trend is your friend, and if you catch this trend, you're probably making money. I did not, so I'm just looking at the market to do its thing. You still have 7 minutes left to answer the question below. Difference between a winning and a losing trader. The best answer in chat wins a 2 week trading mentorship worth $250. Great opportunity. Right now, the best answer was from Riku. Riku8688. Quality over quantity. I'm not sure if we're gonna have a giveaway like this soon again. Obviously, I have a limit of how many people I can help at once, and yeah, I'm already pretty fully booked. So Riku here who might win this might be a lucky guy because there seems to be a very full schedule for me. So I'm not sure if I can do this instantly again. Probably gonna at least take a few weeks, if not a month, or even more, depending on how my schedule looks. But hey, things could change. I never know how things go. But right now I'm quite busy. Here we go. The trend is continuing to the upside, and the people who are trying to short this are losing a lot of money today. I can imagine a lot of blowed accounts today. You know, they see this huge gap to the downside and they are horny for shorts, and then they get a trend day to the upside. Classic. Classic indeed. Hmm. 4 minutes left, and then we will have our winner. Right now, Riku is the leader. We could have a look at the markets here for a while. RTY is obviously weakest out of all of them. YM is very, very bullish. Just came out of a higher high. Yes, same thing. But statistically saying, I think that there's a possibility of a turn here still. But obviously, I said it here, and I think I said it here. So could be that when you say it here as well, third time's a charm, and it actually goes, but it could also just blow. You never know. Or then it takes the gap and the overnight stat on this specific day, and we have a huge move. Ooh, that move would be humongous. Let's see what the move would look like if we would capture that whole move today. From the bottom to the top, 88 points. If someone catch that 88 points, damn, good for you. Good for you. Two minutes time. 2 minutes time to give your answer on the question right below. Right now, Riku is the one who has the best answer, but you could still challenge Riku and get the 2-week mentorship for free of charge. Value $249. But right now, Riku is looking like the one who's gonna take the cake. 2 minutes left, under 2 minutes. So right now, I would be a little bit in a hurry if I haven't still written down my reply, because it looks like Riku is going to take the big W here. Looking like Riku will get the big W. Okay, we have 1 minute left, and it looks like Riku will be the winner of today's show. What an amazing answer he had. Quality over quantity. And he's totally right. He's totally right. And I think the music is feeding this perfectly. We have 20 seconds left, and we can say who's the champion. And right now, it looks like Riku8688 has won a 2-week mentorship of trading free of charge. Amazing to see, Riku. 5 seconds left. And our champion, quality over quantity. Riku8688 has just won himself a free 2-week mentorship valued at $250. Congratulations, Riku8688. Congratulations, you just won yourself a free 2-week mentorship. Good answer, great one. You were the only one to answer, but you won, which is a great thing. Congratulations, you were so right. Quality over quantity as a trader is such an important thing. Don't try to take trades for dopamine. You should take trades because they are good setups. But a lot of traders chase dopamine and excitement. Trading is not exciting. And I think it's a great lesson here from Riku, quality over quantity, because if you look at my charts, you see 0 trades this session. Nada. 0 trades. I proved this concept here that Riku said, quality over quantity. You don't have to trade every day. If there is bad, days where you have no setups, it's fine to not trade. And Riku here won the 2-week mentorship today, proving with his answer that on such a day where I had 0 trades, quality over quantity. Don't chase dopamine. Take the good trades. And if there's a day that doesn't align with your idea or your strategy, totally fine to not trade. If you haven't yet, I trade every day. Subscribe, and you could get some value here on stream. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do a giveaway like this in a while. Riku was the only one who participated, but his answer was still very good. Great job, Riku. Very good one. You just won yourself a 2-week mentorship worth $250. Congratulations. Good stream. Very boring trading wise, nothing to do, but that's how good trading is sometimes. A professional trader does not trade for entertainment, he trades for money. All right, have a great day, everybody. Jostle is out. See ya, guys. Bye bye. Quality over quantity. What a great one. Good job, Riku. Double thumbs up. Quality over quantity. Bye bye.